So histamine and estrogen is another lovely partnership. Histamine
That feels like
is
hell.
That feels like hell when you're going through it. Absolutely. Histamine is the immune signaling protein that causes allergies and swelling. So when there's high levels of estrogen, it stimulates the mast cells to release more histamine. There is this beautiful relationship that happens: more estrogen, more histamine, more histamine, more estrogen, more estrogen, more histamine, and around we go.
Not that beautiful though, is it?
No, it's really not. It really is. No, it's not a picnic at all. Um, the other thing that estrogen does is it downregulates something called the DAO enzyme that helps our body clear away histamine. So you often find someone who is estrogen dominant can be in a bit of a histamine spiral, like allergic to everything, itchy with everything. The histamine goes up and down with the menstrual cycle because it's crucial for ovulation. I love how ovulation sits in the sex hormones, histamine sits in the immune system, but they go hand in hand. Then they need each other. And this is also another case for why we need progesterone, because progesterone is such a stabilizer. It reins everybody in who's having these wild parties. I love progesterone. So it stabilizes mast cells. It helps upregulate this DAO enzyme so that we can clear our histamine more, and it reduces histamine. So when you are dealing with someone who's allergic to the world, estrogen dominant, gut microbiome, I think those are the two main areas that I would be looking at when you've got someone who's allergic to the world.
Yeah, progesterone deficiency.
And progesterone deficiency.
Because I know I like to use the difference. Estrogen dominance is one thing, progesterone deficiency is another. And right now, if that person who is experiencing all of this is not of menopausal age, right now under the NIC guidelines, it is really challenging to be able to recommend anything to get them past the progesterone deficiency. It's my personal mission. So, I mean, even a couple of years ago, we were about to write a bioidentical course so that practitioners such as yourselves would be able to work with low dose bioidenticals, which are so perfect for, say, younger women in this kind of place, or the younger women with PCOS, and they have literally now been basically banned from being brought into the UK. So any supplies that are in the UK were here before the ban. And we're just seeing this clampdown all over the place on things that support women with progesterone deficiency and estrogen dominance. So one of the big supplements that we have been using for decades for estrogen dominance, DIM, has now just been withdrawn again from the UK. So this is a little bit of a war that we're fighting to keep finding how we can support people under the current NIC guidelines and recommendations, which is one of the reasons why we get very excited about Dutch testing, which I know Laura's going to wax lyrical about a little bit later. But then being able to work with a functional medical practitioner who does actually work with, who would prescribe progesterone on its own. But they're few and far between.